Hi lovely people, how are you guys doing? I know lately I haven't been posting a lot, not even a lot. I haven't been posting anything because I wasn't feeling very okay lately, like both physically and mentally, so I took a break from literally everything. Now I think it's been like months I haven't posted like any sewing videos. I was already shooting a video of making like cigarette pants and kurti. In the really middle of that, I was like, oh my god, Valentine's Day is coming and I should definitely make a dress, you know, even though I'm not gonna wear it, but still I should make a video on it. And I stopped making that whatever project I was doing and I started another one without finishing the previous one. Yes, this is literally who I am. A mess. I just hope I can successfully make this dress. Okay, so personally, I'm not a Valentine's Day kind of person, but thinking about making a dress really excites me. Oh shit, I haven't introduced myself yet. So if you're someone new here, hello, I'm Aparajita and I make sewing content and sometimes I also make skincare content as well. If you find my content interesting, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell icon as well. That will really help my channel to grow. And yes, let's start the video. And also my voice might be sounding very irritating because I am sick. Like मुझे पैटर्न बनाने के लिए पेपर चाहिए था बड़ा सा, you know that brown kind of पेपर जो होता है वो नहीं मिला, तो I'm like काम चलाने के लिए मैंने ये जो you know हम जो बचपन में वो लगाते थे बुक्स में कवर, वो लेके आई हूँ मैं. I think this will work. Let's see what happens. This is the clear tape. Because ये पेपर इतना ज़्यादा like you know width में लंबा नहीं है, width इसका छोटा है, तो I think क्या पता मुझे join वगैरह करना पड़े. So I'm back from the shop and I bought everything. I bought everything like the zipper, fabric, everything. Today we'll start making the dress. So here I'm trying to show you guys like what kind of design I want. I initially wanted puff sleeves, but then I changed my mind and I went with spaghetti straps. My drawing is not bad, it's actually very bad, so excuse me for that. What the hell is this? Anyways, just leave it. I'm taking my body measurements, bust, waist and hip. My bust is 34, waist is 30 and hip is again 34. So here I'm trying to make a basic bodice pattern. For that, whatever measurements we just took, bust, waist and hip, divide all of the measurements by 4. Now as I told earlier that the paper I'm using to make pattern is actually small, so I added a little bit just to make the length of the paper a little longer. Even the width of the paper was really small, so I made pattern for half of the dress because half is going to be the same as the other half, if it's making any sense. Yeah. Also, one more thing, I'll be using the same pattern paper for both front and the back side because it's almost same. I just have to make few adjustment for the back side. Like I want my back side to be a little lower than the front side, and that's it. Here I'm marking on 6.5 inch for my shoulder measurement, and from that 6.5 inch I'm marking again 6.5 inch downwards for my armhole measurement. And with the help of a scale, I'm connecting both the marks. After that, I'm marking for my bust measurement. My bust is 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. I marked on 8.5 and added half an inch of sewing allowance. And then I'm drawing a straight line. Similarly, I'll mark for my waist measurement. My waist is 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. I marked on 7.5 and added half an inch of sewing allowance. And waist measurement will be 7 inches below the bust measurement. Same for hips. My hip is 34 divided by 4 is 8.5 and half an inch of sewing allowance. Again, hip measurement will be 7 inches below the waist measurement. Now with the help of a scale, I'll connect all the marks. It is time to make our armhole. From the corner, I'm measuring 1 inch. And after that, using the arm curve tool, armhole curve, whatever that is, I'm making the armhole. Now I'm lowering my shoulder a little bit because our shoulders are generally shaped like that. Then I'm measuring 3 inch and just making a simple round neck. Now with the help of the armhole curve thing, I'm smoothing out all the sharp edges because our bodies aren't shaped like that. Our bodies aren't like that angled. Now it's time to mark for the bottom of the dress. Now at this point I was so confused like what kind of bottom I want. If I wanted it flared or if I wanted it like body hugging, because I was so confused. So I just marked my bottom equal to the hip measurement because I was like so skeptical. I couldn't choose what I want. So to be in the safer side, I just marked my bottom according to my hip measurement. But eventually I went with like fitted body hugging. From the top, I'm marking on 9.5 inch and from the middle, I'm keeping distance of 4.5 inch and then I'm making my darts of about 1 inch.
Now I know that I already added seam allowance, but I was so nervous that what if the dress goes small. So just to be the safer side, I added half an inch extra. Anyways, just there is no any loss, like I can always trim away the excess, so that's not a problem at all. So here I'm adding extra half an inch just to be in the safer side. And finally I'm cutting it out. Now I'm marking on the midpoint of the shoulder, that is 2 inch. In the middle from the top I'm marking on 13.5 centimeters, and then from the shoulder midpoint I'm marking on 10 centimeters. And with the help of arm curve tool I'm connecting both the marks, and also I'm connecting one line to the armhole point. And finally I cut it out. I was this close from attaching the puff sleeves to the dress because they were like almost ready. I changed my mind at the last moment. That's why I don't think there is any point of showing you guys like the whole puff sleeve making process. I just don't want to make the video unnecessarily lengthy. Now here I'm making a like small design for the dress. I wanted this dress to be simple yet not boring. I wanted it to be like sophisticated, classy, and like this design is like very simple, yet it just gives such nice look to the dress. Okay, so let me explain how to make this design. So first, draw a straight line. The line in the middle should be straight, and then you have to make like 2 obtuse angle from both top and bottom. I hope you guys understood. My geometry isn't great either, but I tried to explain it as simply as I could. Like you have to literally make 2 obtuse angle from the top, and I don't know if it's called an obtuse angle, but whatever, I think it is. First you have to draw a straight line in the middle, and then again draw 2 lines on the top and the bottom. The middle line in the middle should be straight, and both the other 2 lines should be between. I won't be able to tell you guys like the exact measurement, but I hope you guys will be able to eyeball things. Now I don't know how to explain this part. You basically have to assemble a design like I'm doing here and then sew it. Now I wish I would have taken the footage from like a different angle. It would have been like more clear, but yeah, it is what it is now. So after sewing, this is what it's looking like, and from the right side it's looking so nice. To secure the design, I'm pinning and sewing so that the design doesn't move. Now I'm using the pattern paper to cut both my front and the back pieces.
So I made these like 2 facings. The one that has like white pin is for the front side, I guess. Yes, it is for the front side, and this one is for the back side.
As I told earlier that initially I wanted to make this dress a puff sleeves dress. If you're making dress with sleeves, then this kind of facing like will perfectly work, but for spaghetti straps this kind of facing won't work. Either way, I don't really recommend this kind of facing. I suggest the other way,
facing like this, but I should have made it like in another way, like this one.
Now at this moment I was like determined to make this dress a puff sleeve dress, so that's why I just right away attach my facing. Or else if you want to make a spaghetti strap dress, between the layer of the facing and the actual dress fabric, you have to put your like straps in between, like sandwich, and then sew the facing. But at that moment I didn't make my decision of making this dress a spaghetti strap dress, so that's why I'm attaching the facing like this. But eventually I seam ripped the top where I have to attach like the straps, and then I again sewed it. Yeah, it was a lengthy process. I suggest you guys to just first decide what kind of dress you want and then start making the dress. It will just make the process a lot more easier, unlike me. And I also gave a top stitch, and after that I started making my darts, which is even more disgusting that I even made my darts before attaching the straps. I suggest you guys to make your darts after attaching the straps and everything. And after that I started cutting my facing. Here is how you make a facing. It should be exactly like the top of your main piece. Now here I'm cutting my straps. I don't exactly remember the width of the piece I'm cutting here, but I think it's approximately 2 inch, and length will be how long you want your straps to be. Now I'm folding the width of the piece, keeping right sides together, and then I'm sewing it. Here I'm keeping a little bit of seam allowance and trimming away the excess. Please make sure that you don't cut the seam, and just be careful while doing this step. After that I'm using a safety pin to turn the right side out. You can even use a loop turner or any tool of your choice. Now let me show you how to attach straps. First, I'm placing the main piece, and then on top of that I'm adding where I want my straps, and then on top of that I am placing my facing piece. This is kind of a sandwich method where we are making the straps sandwich between the main piece and the facing piece. Now I'm simply sewing it. After turning the right side out, as you can see, straps are attached beautifully. After that I measured how long I want my straps, and then I'm cutting the excess. As I already told you guys that I already sewed the facing of the front side, I had to seam rip the top where I wanted my straps, and then I again had to sew it. After that I gave a top stitch on both front and back pieces to make sure that the facing stays in place. Now I marked my measurements and I'm sewing the sides of the dress.
Okay, so I sewed both the sides, So as you can see the marks here. Now as you can see, here is a lot of sewing allowance on both the sides. Here is the seam. I don't know if you guys can properly see this. I know like my videos aren't very great, like the quality isn't very great. It's because I don't have a very great phone, and also I edit on phone, so that might be also the reason the quality isn't very great, because I don't have a nice laptop. So now I'm going to trim the excess sewing allowance. I'll keep about like 1 or probably a little more than half an inch, and then I'll trim the excess.
I mean, wow, what a shooting angle. You guys are literally seeing my back and nothing else. Like, I'm doing everything by myself and I'm just learning every day, and hope one day I'll be able to do everything properly.
Okay guys, so this is the dress and it's almost ready. So I actually sewed one side of the dress. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Yes, and for this side, now from the top, like from the armhole, I sewed about 1 inch, as you can see, and then I left a gap, and then I again sewed from here so that I can attach the zipper on the side.
As you can see, I attached a zipper and it is looking so good. I'm so excited to try this on.